Now that you've established your company and you know how to manage your chart of accounts, you're actually ready to start making purchase orders and invoices and things like that. But I would recommend that you start adding in some information before you do that. You should start adding information about your customers, your vendors, the items that you sell, and then it'll make those other transactions a lot easier to use. In this video, we're going to add a new vendor. So we can pick on the vendor center over here. We can pick on the word vendors here. We can pick on the word vendors here and then pick on the vendor center. Either way is fine. So let's do the vendor center. Alright, so notice how we don't have any vendors set up at this time. So we're going to pick on new vendor. And you're going to see we can add these one by one, or in a different video I'm going to show you how to import these perhaps from Excel. So I'll pick on new vendor. And now you're just going to fill in the screen with whatever information that you need. So let's say this is going to be Joe's computer supplies. And if you have a balance with them, you would put that in there. So now you're just going to type in the information that you have about that vendor. Whatever you have is fine. None of these fields except for the vendor name are really required. So let's say for the contact, I'm going to do Joe Smith. So if you have a phone number for them, a fax. Now, if you're gonna email your purchase orders, then you would like to have an email address in there. And then if there is another person that's going to go to, you can put in a CC. Now, so let's do an address for this company as well. So you can see it's just filling in the blanks. Not a big deal here. All right, now you can also do additional information. What type of vendor are they? And if you have an account number with them, what type of vendor are they? Now you can actually add more to this list. Well, most of these pull downs in QuickBooks, when you see a pull down like that, you can say add new. So let's say that this is a supplier. If they have terms, these terms will show up on the purchase order. Although for each purchase order, you can change this individually. That's just the default. If you have a credit limit with them, you can also make them a 1099 employee or a consultant. And then we'll talk more about that in different videos. But you can assign a tax ID to that person if that would apply. And then you can have additional fields over here. So if there's additional fields that you need to have, you can say define fields and have as many new fields as you wanted there. So I've just filled in that vendor's information. I'm going to click on OK, and now that vendor appears there. So that really wasn't that difficult. What we said was we went to the vendor center, we picked on new vendor, and then we just added a new vendor there. Now as we do more and more transactions, when we go to the screen, we'll have a whole list of vendors here, and then over here we'll actually show the history of that vendor, any transaction you've done with them. So that's really helpful as well. But that's how easily we can add one vendor into QuickBooks.